Healthy chocolate chip cookies? Absolutely. And today you're going to find out how to make them on Datitude, BBQ, and more. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this.
Datitude, barbecue and more. Datitude, barbecue and more.
Welcome back to Datitude, BBQ, and more. And today we are going to make healthy chocolate chip cookies. You heard it right. That's healthy chocolate chip cookies. And I'm going to show you how. But before we get started, you know what to do. That's right. You slap that bell. You hit the subscribe button. You give me some thumbs up. And you share this video with as many people as you can so we can get the word out on how to be a great cook in the kitchen and now even a healthy cook in the kitchen. And also, before I get started today, I want to give a shout out today to Maddie, Presley, Gramps, and Bones. I hope you all enjoy this video today on Datitude, and I thank you all for tuning in on that. I also want to thank Perla from Mexico for providing me 2 ducks. We have a Yes Chef duck, and we have the cooking baking duck. And of course, I drive a Jeep, so I am a ducks kind of guy. So thank you to Perla from Mexico for sending me these lovely ducks to cook with today. Now, as I said in the opening, we're doing the healthy chocolate chip cookies, and we're doing this is the keto diet special today. So on the keto diet, you're cutting out a lot of refined carbs, you're cutting out flour, you're cutting out pretty much anything that's been processed. And we're just using whole foods and other substitutes in order to do this today. And I'm going to be using, of course, what I usually use when I do a sugary type of desserts, keto style. I use the Swerve sweetener. Now, I'm not getting paid by Swerve, and there's nothing, I'm not getting any endorsement from Swerve. I just love this product because it measures cup for cup like regular sugar. It comes in different varieties like brown sugar, powdered sugar, granular sugar like you would normally use. And what I love about it is 0 calories, 0 sugars, and it tastes almost exactly like sugar. You don't get that weird aftertaste like you would get in other things. So I highly recommend this. Today I'm going to be using the powdered sugar, the Confectioners sugar of Swerve. I'm going to be using the brown sugar Swerve today. That's 1/3 of a cup of each, heaping 1/3 of a cup each of these. I'll be putting the recipe down below in the description today, so feel free to consult that. But we've got these. I've already got those pre-measured. We also have Lilly's dark chocolate style baking chips, right? Chocolate with 55% cacao, which is fantastic. What I love about these is 1 tablespoon has 50 calories. Now, we're going to be using a 1/2 cup of these, but we're not going to eat them all at one time, obviously. What I also love about these is total sugars, 0 grams. So again, we're cutting out the sugar, we're cutting out the processed, we're cutting out the flour, and we're making these very, very healthy today. So I highly recommend Lily's. Now, this is dark chocolate style. You can get them in milk chocolate style as well. Highly recommend these. I'm using just a little pinch of Himalayan pink salt. I also have, as you can see on the secondary camera here, I've got almond flour. I've got 1 1/4 cup of almond flour. I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and then I use the pinch of pink Himalayan salt in here. And what I'm going to do is, and then I also wanted to say we also are going to have 1 large egg. We're going to have some melted or some room temperature butter. I've gone ahead and melted this down, as you can see on the secondary camera. I'm also going to be using 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. That's the kind I use right here. Actually got this at Sam's Club. Very, very good price, by the way. But I've also seen pure vanilla extract at Costco. We've got my KitchenAid blender that we're going to be using today, and we've got the bowl for the dry products. So again, this is the almond flour, pink Himalayan salt, and baking soda. And what I'm going to do is just take a wire whisk. I'm just going to mix these together, getting out any clumps of the almond flour while still mixing all of this in. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up, and I'm going to set this off to the side. That's all I have to do with the dry portion. Now, the wet portion, here we have it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine, and I've got also a rubber spatula today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put in the brown sugar mixture. I'm going to go ahead and put in the powdered sugar mixture. And as you can see on the secondary camera, what I'm just going to do with these first is I'm just going to stir these up, get them mixed in together. Very easy to do. Then I'm going to take the butter mixture. And again, if we get this over a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and brush this in. The egg is flying away, ladies and gentlemen. It's rolling away. But we want to get as much of the butter in there as we can, because that obviously not only gives it fat, but it also gives it some really good taste. And sometimes people will ask me, like, what type of butter do I use? Well, guys, I am a huge, huge fan of Kerrygold butter, Irish butter. It is the best, in my opinion, has the best taste to it. Interestingly enough, I bought some regular sticks of butter at the store the other day just because they were a little cheaper. Again, if you're going to use high quality products, it's going to cost you a little bit more. So Kerrygold does cost more, but I used regular butter the other day for something, and it was almost a neutral taste. It didn't even seem to have any taste. That shows you how good the Kerrygold butter is. So I'm going to go ahead and put this away, put these two dishes away. And then what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to keep the rubber spatula because I will need that again. I'll just lay it on here. Now, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to put this on the KitchenAid blender. And as you can see, I'm not always the best at it. There we go. I'm going to move this on over a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put the yes, there it is. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and move the secondary camera on over as well so you can see. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and blend a little bit here. I'm going to get that kind of blended in. And after it blends in just a little bit, I'm on a level 4 right now on the blender. Now, guys, you can see from the secondary camera that already looks like a cookie dough. I'm going to go ahead and put the egg in now. We'll put that over here, and I'm going to keep blending that in. And what we want a good, not terribly runny, but we want a good consistency to this. And you can see on the secondary camera as it mixes. Now, normally I will run this at a 4 or even a 5. I'll do a 4 today. Normally I'd do this for about, 2 or 3 minutes. And I probably will go ahead and do that right now, just letting it do that. And then I'll be back to put the dry mixture on here in just a second. I'll see you soon. As it continues to blend, I'm actually going to put in my 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract now. This gives it such a good taste. And we've added that in. I'm going to let that mix in for just a few minutes. And then I will be back to add the dry ingredients. I'll see you soon. All right, welcome back. And as you can see on the secondary camera, we have a dough mixture in there now. And now what we need to do is we need to add the dry ingredients of the almond flour, baking soda, and the pinch of pink Himalayan salt. Again, guys, if you just want to use regular salt, that's perfectly fine. This is just my preference. It doesn't have to be your preference. What I'm going to do is I am going to add about half of the mixture of the dry ingredients. I'm just going to add about half of it in there. And then we're going to turn on the blender again. I'm going to do it just a little bit more. About half. You can see I still have about half in here. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the blender back on, starting low at maybe a 2. And then moving my way up to about a 3, maybe a 4. And as that gets in there, I am then going to turn it down or turn it off just for a second. I'm going to add the rest. Actually, we'll go ahead and release it just for a second. And we're going to go ahead and add the rest of it. The rest of the dry ingredients are in. We're going to go ahead and mix that up. Look at that, guys. Look how on the secondary camera, how that just becomes a chocolate chip cookie dough. It's absolutely amazing to me that we can do this, and we can do it relatively healthy. So I'm excited about that. We're going to let this blend in for just a little bit longer. And normally I would let this run for 2 or 3 minutes, but because of time constraints and video, um, we're going to just maybe let it go for about another 30 seconds. I already have measured out my half cup of, there it is, my half cup of Lily's dark chocolate chips. These are amazing, like I said. And then what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to turn this off for a second. Again, I'm just going to dump these in there. And we're going to mix those really good in there. Guys, also, if you have a hand mixer at home and you prefer to use the hand mixer, that's just as good. There will be times that you may want to use the rubber spatula to just kind of like get it off the sides and everything. But again, this is my preference. I prefer to use the regular blender. But hey, if you have a hand blender and you want to use that, feel free to use that as well. So remember, you're taking what I'm teaching you and you're making it your own. That's pretty much what I've done with the recipes that I use as well, or I've created my own. So in this case, guys, do what you feel like is the best for you. All right, so that's just about it. I'm going to take this off like so. What I like to do is I like to take it off and then run it at a decent high speed to get a lot of it off of the blade. Now, there's still going to be some on the blade, and we'll get that off here in just a little bit. Or if you were anything like me as a child, man, when my mom made cookies or dough of any kind, she just gave me the blade, and I ate it right off the blade. It was so good. I'm not going to do that today on this channel because that's kind of crass. But nonetheless, I'm going to take this off. We're going to move this out of the way. And then I have my rubber spatula. And like I said, what I use this for is to just get a lot of it back down in here. And you can see how easy it does that. And so what we have left, as you can see on the secondary camera now, what we have left is literally a ball of dough that is ready to be baked here in just a second. So what is the next step, you ask? Next step, very easy. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for 30 minutes to 1 hour to let it cool down. While I'm doing that, I'm going to bring out a baking sheet. I'm going to put down some parchment paper because, again, remember, parchment paper, when we're cooking keto and you're doing almond flour type things, if you don't use parchment paper, it's going to stick to the pan. And that was the same way on the Mediterranean pizza that I made keto style a few weeks ago. Same thing with the lemon bars that I recently just made. We have to have parchment paper down. So I'm going to get a pan, put some parchment paper down, get it ready to go. Then I'm going to bring out the dough. We're going to roll it into the balls, put it down. I'm going to be baking these today at 325 degrees Fahrenheit. And what I'm going to do, I'll tell you the whole time and everything on that. When they're in the oven, and I'll show you this later, at about the 3-minute mark, I take a large like metal spoon and I press down on the dough while it's baking, right? So I'll show you how I do that later. But until the time that it chills off, I will be back within 30 minutes to 1 hour, and we will complete this process. You can see how easy this was to make this dough. Extremely easy, extremely healthy. So I'll see you again soon. All right, guys, look at this. We have a mound of cookie dough ready to be rolled up into balls and put on the tray so we can put them in the oven. But I wanted you to see what the finished product looked like. All right, welcome back. I actually left the dough in the refrigerator for about 2 hours, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was like a little kid. I went in for some dough. I used to love cookie dough as a kid, and to this day, I still love like cookie dough blizzards and things like that. So I couldn't help myself, but as you can see, we've got a big mound, as I showed you a little bit ago, a big mound of cookie dough ready to go. And now it's time to make those healthy keto cookies. So just like you would a regular cookie, we're just gonna grab some dough. And listen, you don't have to make them. You can make them as big as you want. But as you can see, I'm just rolling them into balls, and I'm putting them on the tray. Now I'm going to space them out. I might add a little bit more to that one, but I'm going to space them out enough to where they don't melt into each other. And if you need a second tray, obviously use a second tray. But as you can see, this functions, even though it's a healthy cookie, it acts like a regular cookie when you're rolling it up and putting it on the tray. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to roll the rest of these. And then when I'm finished, I'm going to go ahead and let you see what they look like before they go in the oven. And then, obviously, the method I use when they're in the oven. So stay tuned and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I ended up using 2 trays because I didn't want them to melt into each other. But as you can see, we've got 14 cookies for today. I've got them rolled up nicely into the dough ball, and I have cut the parchment paper, and we should have some really great cookies here shortly. In about 3 minutes, I'm going to show you my method on what to do with these. They're going to bake for about 10 minutes total, but I'm going to do something in about 3 minutes, and I'll show you that soon. All right, guys, so here's the method. I took them back out of the oven at about the 3-minute mark, and as you can see with the spoon, I'm just going to press down, make them more like a cookie. I'm just going to press those down a little more. And this will not only speed up the cooking process, but it actually it's not going to melt all the way down very well unless you pat these down. So as you can see, they form a really nice looking cookie. And so I'm going to do this to each one of them, just patting it down with the spoon. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to do that to both trays of cookies. And then I'm going to put these back in the oven for about, I'd say, I'm going to check on them in about 6 minutes. And then I'm going to either take them out or I'm going to let them cook another minute or so, at least 6 to 7 more minutes in the oven. So I'll see you back at that time. All right, I just took these out of the oven, and obviously they're going to have to cool down a little bit before I take them off the trays. But look at that chocolate. Talk about yummy. So these cookies turned out perfect. There was a little melting into each other, but I mean, those can be easily cut away. But I mean, the finished product looks amazing, and I cannot wait to take a taste of these for you here in just a second. Highly recommend these cookies. I left them in for a total of about 10 minutes and 30 seconds. I mean, 10 minutes, yeah, about 10 and a half minutes. You could have probably taken them out at the 10-minute mark. But look how good these look. I'll see you on the taste test soon. All right, guys, I am back. The cookies have been resting for about 10 minutes. They look absolutely amazing. This is healthy cooking at its best. I am so happy how these turned out. And again, if you decide to make these, I would love to know in the comment section if you've tried these or any other of my recipes on here. These turned out amazing, and you don't have to sacrifice the taste just because you're trying to be a little healthier. And these are not something that I would eat every single day, but occasionally I do get a sweet tooth as well. I've been doing carnivore diet for a long time. I switch back and forth now between keto and carnivore, and there's really no sugar in those diets. So occasionally I do get a little bit of a sweet tooth, and I want something that's a treat, just like everybody else can have, it seems like. And so I've decided to try to make baking your favorite type of sweets easier and to show you how to do that. And again, I highly recommend Swerve sweetener, but if you use allulose or any other type of sweetener, let me know if you think it tastes better. But I'd say Swerve gives you the best bang for your buck, honestly. So these turned out fantastic. I'm going to hold one up to the secondary camera here. You can see, look at the back of that. Look at that. I mean, it looks just like a dead on like a chocolate chip cookie. I'm going to go ahead and break it. Look how easy it pulls apart. Let's do that again. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's fantastic. I've got myself a glass of coconut milk here, but the same thing, milk and cookies, it doesn't get any better than this. I used to dunk it as a kid. I don't know about you. But I'm going to go ahead and give it a taste test. I already know how these are going to taste. They're going to be amazing. So, bon appetit. Oh, my goodness. Guys, listen. I would give myself an applause, but I don't want to make it an every video thing. If I gave you a blind taste test right now, I put a blindfold on you, and I put these out with a regular Toll House cookie, chocolate chip cookie that you make at home, I don't think you could tell a difference. Quite honestly, you may choose these over those, and these are the healthier version. That's the amazing part about this. So we got low carb. We got pretty much zero sugar in this. Well, I'd say zero sugar. And why not choose these over the highly processed, highly sugared real version? Guys, I'm a big advocate of healthy cooking, nutrition, working out. And I believe if everybody would adopt some of this in their lifestyle, you're healthy. If you have health problems, they may go away. You never know. So anyway, just wanted to say thank you also to everyone out there that's been sharing the videos, that's been subscribing, that's been hitting those like buttons, giving me those thumbs up. Guys, I think we're up to about 551 subscribers. Welcome anyone new that has just subscribed, because I couldn't do this without you. It's you that are causing the subscribers to go up and getting the word out there again on how to be a better cook in the kitchen, and also how to be a healthier cook in the kitchen. So guys, again, leave me some comments on what you think. Leave me some comments if you have made any of these recipes that I've done. And always remember to follow me, because I am here to help you to be a healthy, good cook in the kitchen. But guys, until next time, have a great weekend, and I'll see you again on Datitude, BBQ and more.
Datitude barbecue. He's the grilling dude. Datitude barbecue. You know how we do. Let it burn, smoking meats on that smoker grill. Clouds in the sky, you can smell the flavor in the air. Datitude.